start, we're going to start in a lying down position, semi-supine position. Of course, if you want to stay seated, that's fine. Otherwise, just spend the next couple of minutes settling down into a comfortable, warm position on the floor. You can have the legs stretched out or feet stepped up close to the buttocks. And just begin by closing the eyes. I'd like to sigh the breath away a couple of times. Letting go of the events of the morning, last night, during the night, yesterday. Just let these things drop away. We're just going to begin this morning by noticing all of the different sounds around us. So with your eyes closed, just start to tune in to sounds that are very close to you, as well as more distant sounds. Not becoming attached to any one particular sound. Noticing how many different sounds there are. And then slowly begin to draw your awareness inward. And notice how you feel this morning. Perhaps you feel full of energy, or perhaps you feel a little tired, a bit low in energy. Perhaps your body feels a little stiff, your mind a little tense or dull. Know that you don't need to feel any particular way right now. Just be yourself as you are, and that is perfect. Dwelling in the place between no longer and not yet. Allowing thoughts to settle, neither inviting them nor following them along. Beginning to connect now with your breath. Allowing each breath to arise. Allowing each breath to pass away, one after the other. On the weekend, I discovered some interesting things about some of my ancestors, and it's been the inspiration for our practice this morning. My mum's cousin informed me that my great-grandfather went off to fight in World War I, and then the whole family caught the Spanish flu. My great-aunt Phyllis, who was 7 at the time, was not expected to live, and she was taken to the exhibition buildings on a stretcher and not allowed visitors. She then went on to lose her job in the Depression, and her brothers became rats of Tobruk in World War II. One was badly wounded. Phyllis, my great aunt, lived till she was 95. My mum's cousin ended up saying to me, and yes, we have been very fortunate. So in our practice today, I thought we might focus on the qualities of resilience courage, strength, and persistence. Qualities that can surely assist us and support us at the moment with this global pandemic. In particular, I thought we might focus on connecting with a particular genetic ancestor or ancestor of the spirit who possessed these qualities. Within our bones, within our DNA, we hold the patterns of our ancient ancestors. Deep in our cellular memory, we are linked to these individuals, to their trauma, their pain and suffering, but also to their strength, courage, resilience, and wisdom. We are the collective result of countless generations that lived, learned, taught, created, and dreamed. The cells of our bodies contain the echoes of our ancestral family memories. So in a moment, we're going to come up to work with a meditation practice. It's not important for you to know exactly who your ancestors were or how they're related to you. What is important is that you have an open mind, an open heart, and a desire to create a strong connection. A desire to connect into the wisdom, the love and support of your ancestral line, whether that's genetic or spiritual. So I invite you to just start by bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers and your toes. And when you feel ready, you might like to stretch your arms up overhead. Just have a lovely stretch from fingertip to toe tip. And then when you need to exhale, release your arms down by your side. Just do this twice more. If you're in a seated position, just stretch the arms up overhead, have a little bit of a wriggle from side to side, and then lower the arms back down. So twice more. When you finish, gently draw both knees in towards your chest. If you're lying down, give yourselves a lovely hug and start to rock from side to side. If you're in a seated position, you might like to just stretch forward gently. Just keep connected with your breath. If you're really low in energy this morning, not feeling fantastic, feel free to stay lying down for the meditation. Otherwise, if you're lying down, just gently roll to one side and carefully come up into a seated position. So we're going to be sitting for probably about 7 minutes, 6 or 7 minutes. So grab all the support you need. If you'd like to sit on a chair, stretch the legs out, keep yourself nice and warm. Nice, tall, straight spine. Relax your shoulders. If you have a favorite mudra position, you might like to incorporate that with your hands. Otherwise, the hands can just rest lightly on your knees or in your lap. If you feel comfortable closing the eyes, soften the skin of the face, relax the mouth. And just start by tuning into the breath. As you feel the breath flow in through the tip of both nostrils and out through the tips of the nostrils. Soft, gentle breath. Now in this position, I invite you now to visualize a giant tree. Let us imagine that this is the world tree, a gateway between worlds. It might be a tree that you know of and love, or it might be a tree in your imagination. So see yourself now standing before this great tree. Hear the wind in its branches, the rustle of leaves, the smell of the earth where the roots dig in. Reach out now and feel the bark of this world tree. Wrap your arms around the trunk of the tree. Give it a hug. And as you do so, hold the intention of finding an ancestor spirit to help you navigate your way through uncharted territories, to help you connect with your inner strength, courage, resilience, so needed at this time. Now begin to search in the trunk of the tree for an opening. When you find it, step into the opening and see that it opens into a tunnel. The tunnel slopes gently downward. Follow the tunnel downward. Continue to follow the tunnel as it spirals down, down, and around. And as the tunnel begins to level out now, you see at the end of the tunnel, there's an opening into a forest clearing. There's a great fire in the middle of the clearing, and you begin to walk towards it. As you near the fire, you begin to notice the spirits of your ancestors around the fire. Some are dancing, some are simply watching the fire, others are humming a tune, playing an instrument, reading. You pause on the edge of the clearing, not wanting to interrupt, until one of your ancestors breaks away and comes to join you. This person may be a recent ancestor, someone you knew in life, or it may be someone from a more distant past. It may be an ancestor of blood or an ancestor of spirit. If you don't recognize your ancestor, introduce yourself. Ask your ancestor guide for some wisdom or guidance about how you can best navigate these challenging times. What wisdom from older times can help you, support you at this time? Ask any questions you have. Your ancestor may give you a gift to support you, or their wisdom may come in the form of images or sounds or a feeling, a few words, even a smell. Now search within yourself to see if you have a gift to offer in return. Thank your ancestor guide for their support and wisdom. You might like to repeat this simple phrase: I thank all those who have helped shape and create me. I honor this divine wisdom. Now it is time to leave your ancestor, the forest, and the fire. You turn around, find the tunnel again, and enter it. Follow the tunnel as it slopes back up. Follow the tunnel up and up until you are once again standing by the trunk of the world tree. Hold your hands out to hug the trunk of the tree and offer thanks for facilitating this journey. Feeling deeply refreshed and transformed. And then step back through the screen of your mind. Bring yourself back to this place, to this moment. Coming back, reconnecting with your breath, allowing each breath to arise, each breath to pass away. Now gently release the practice, and we're going to fold forward. So whether you're cross-legged or in a chair or kneeling, just gently come forward. If you've remained lying down, just take your time now to roll to one side and to gently come up to join the rest of us. If your legs are crossed, gently change the cross of your legs and bow forward once again. So as we continue with our practice this morning, see if you can feel or keep connected with the energy of your ancestor, allowing this energy to strengthen and support you. Courage, determination, resourcefulness. And then gently come up. So nice tall spine. Whether you're kneeling or have the legs stretched out, that's all okay. You can stay as you are, perhaps with a cushion under the buttocks. Let's start to stretch the sides of the body now. So on your next inhale, raise your arms to shoulder height. And as you exhale, tip over to the left side. Stretch the right arm up. Breathe yourself back to center. And tip over to the right side. Let's keep going. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now come back to center and we're going to move into a twist. So twisting to the left side, an open or closed twist. So remember, open, the right hand is to the inner edge of the right knee. Breathe yourself back to center and let's twist to the other side. So open twist or closed, hand to the opposite knee, a little bit stronger. Breathe yourself back to center. Twisting to the left. Keep lengthening up through the crown top. Inhale, face soft. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale back to center and release your arms down by your side. Good. If your legs are crossed, change the cross of the legs. And we'll just make some nice slow circles with our shoulders. So draw the shoulders forward, lift them up and roll them back. Forward, up and back. Forward, up and back. Good. And then reverse. Up, forward and back. Up, forward and back. One more. Good. Okay, give the arms a bit of a shake. Let's come into extended child pose. So you all know this pose really well. Take your time, spread the fingers wide, middle fingers pointing straight ahead, big toes touching, ears between your arms. Long, smooth inhalation and long, smooth exhalation. Release the buttocks back towards the heels as you extend your fingertips forward. So you're getting maximum stretch through the spine, through the back. There's a two-way stretch happening here. Top half of the body moving towards the top of your mat. Bottom half of the body releasing towards the back of your mat. Now you can stay in this position or lift the head up and walk your hands over to the left side. So again, a bit of a lateral stretch. Just make sure that right shoulder doesn't lift up. So try to keep the shoulders square. Hands are still shoulder width apart, or for a stronger stretch, the right hand is on top of the left hand. Breathe into that right side of the torso. Good, and then come back to center, walk the hands around to the right. So again, you can keep the hands shoulder width apart or left palm on top of right. Keep the shoulders square. Watch that that left shoulder doesn't lift up. Breathe into the left side of the torso. Good, and gently come back to center. Now again, you can stay in this position for a few more breaths, or a little bit stronger, come up onto your knees and we'll move into a bit of a stronger stretch for the upper back and the armpit chest area. So slide the hands forward, buttocks stay in the air, and we're endeavoring to bring the chest and the armpits down towards the mat. So hold this for a few breaths. If it feels a bit strong at this point, just stay in extended child. Good, and then slide yourself back. Let's inhale, come up into cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Now we're staying here for one breath. Coming back down into cat and child. Okay, we're going to do a few more of these. Breathe yourself into cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. This time we're staying for 2 breaths. Now you might like to bend one leg and then the other if the
Legs are feeling really stiff and cold this morning. 2 breaths here. When you finish, come back down onto your knees and into child. Breathe in to cat. Breathe out dog. 3 breaths. When it's time, lowering the knees and into child. Last one, inhale. Exhale, down face dog, 4 breaths. When you finish the 4 breaths, come back down and rest in child. You might like to rest your head on your hands, take a breath or two there. And then we're coming up into a kneeling position to work with some kneeling salutes. So you can either be down low as I am, or if it's better for you, this can be your start position. Nice tall spine, shoulders back, heart open. I'm going to add a couple of extra poses to our salutes this morning. Most of you know this, but feel free always to watch if you're not quite sure. So arms by our sides, exhale all breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhale cat, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Back into cat and child. Now we're sliding along the floor. We're going to lie on our tummies, palms above the head, and rest here for 1 breath. And then we take the arms and legs wide apart and breathe in, lift up and down. Hands back alongside the chest, elbows tucked in. Inhale, lift up, bend the legs, back into child. Inhale, come all the way up, palms together, and exhale. Okay, we're going to go through 4 more of these. Breathe in. Feel free to take a rest if 5 feels a bit too much for you at this point. Keep connected with your breath. Down face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. Sliding along the floor, come into our rest position for a breath. Arms and legs wide, inhale, lift up and down, hands alongside your chest. Breathe in, lift, back into child. Inhale. Exhale. Synchronize your movement with your breath. Inhale, cat. Down face dog pose. Back into cat and child. Sliding along the floor, palms together. Rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide. Inhale. And down. Hands alongside your chest. Breathe in.
into child. Coming up. Long, smooth inhalation and long, smooth exhalation into cat and dog, back into cat and child. Coming forward and rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide, lift up and down. Hands by the chest, Bhujangasana, into child. Breathe in. Last one. Cat and dog. Back into cat and child. Coming to lie on the floor, rest for a breath. Arms and legs wide, breathe in and lower. Lifting up, pushing back. Inhale, palms together and exhale. I'd like to sigh the breath away, soften the shoulders. Good. And release your hands. Okay, we're going to have a go at a pose we don't do that often, but it's a wonderful pose, especially when we're trying to really connect in with our strength and courage. So this is a particularly good pose to work with to help us develop the courage to express ourselves, to communicate, to speak our truth. It's lion pose. It's quite funny, a funny pose if you've never done it before. So feel free to watch and have a go if you'd like to, if you're not familiar with it. We try to have the legs in this position, but if you can't sit like this, maybe grab some cushions, try popping them under the ankles and the shins, or just if you need to sort of sit cross-legged or even in a chair, you can do it that way. If you're like me, the knees are wide, the big toes are touching, then we bring the palms down with the fingers pointing back towards the body. From here, we look up towards our third eye, Shambhavi Mudra, and in a moment, we're going to extend the tongue and we make a loud sound like ah. You can do it with the eyes open or closed, but as you're making that sound, and let the sound come from the belly, as you do it, you might like to really sort of tap into anything you've been holding on to and feel that you're letting it out as you make that sound. Any frustration, anger, whatever's sort of feeling a bit trapped inside that you need to express and let out. And this is a really healthy way to do it. So let's have a go. We're going to do 3 of these. The third one, we are going to change it slightly. So let's take a deep breath in. Look up to your third eye. Ah. Again. Now the third one, we move the tongue from side to side. Inhale. Knees are like mine, bring them together. I like to give a bit of a rug. Sigh the breath away. check in with yourself. Be conscious of what's going on inside, how you're feeling. Good. Okay, we're going to have a go at a squat and a couple of other poses if you'd like to try them. So if you find the squats really challenging, if you can't get your heels down, grab yourself a cushion again or a blanket and give yourself a bit of support. Or even if you're like me, you might have a wall behind you. So you might even be able to lean back like this against the wall. See how you go. You might need to keep the hands on the floor. If you can, bring the hands into prayer position at the heart space. If the heels are flat, you might be able to press your elbows into the inner knees, so working the knees out. Now you're welcome to stay here. Those of you who'd like to go a bit further, I thought we could have a go at doing Bakasana this morning, crane pose, which is an arm balance. So for crane, you can come into it if you know it. If you're not familiar with it, have a look. Hands are spread wide. These have to be like our feet. Our arms are now like our feet, the legs of the bird. We come up onto our tiptoes and then we try to bring our knees into our armpits and lean forward. You might just take one foot off the floor. Some of you might be able to take two. If you've got both feet in the air, see if you can bring your big toes to touch. Keep breathing. Keep smiling. When you've had enough, come down, come back into the squat if you like. Now, if you're still in a squat and you need a rest, just come out. Just rest for a moment. One more pose I thought we could have a go at, which is another balance. The first step is to come up onto the balls of the feet. So we've got the heels lifted and ideally our thighs are parallel to the floor. Now again, you might have a wall behind you to help you balance. You can just stay here if you like. Really good for improving circulation in our feet, those of us who get cold feet in winter. If you'd like to try to go a little bit further, again, it's another balance. We see if we can have the weight into the ball of the right foot and lift this leg up. So the ankle comes onto the right thigh. The next step is to see if we can, from here, carefully bring the hands into prayer position, lengthening up through the crown top. And then we can try the other side, or you can just watch if you don't want to have a go at this one. It's pretty tricky. Just keep connected to the breath. When you've finished, let's all come out of whatever we're doing. Come down into child and just take a breath or two there. Okay. I thought now that we would come up to stand and work with a pranayama practice. Now, this practice is sometimes called the yogic breath of fire. It's Bhastrika Pranayama. Bhastrika means bellows. So it's like we've got a fire, an open fire, and we've got our bellows and we're stoking the fire. So this is a really good breath for helping our digestive system, stoking our digestive fire, what we call in yoga Agni. But it's also a really good breath for just energizing us and bringing in fresh prana, fresh oxygen into the body, the brain. It can help us feel much more alert and awake and more clarity of thought. It helps to balance the doshas, those of you familiar with Vata, Pitta, Kapha. Ayurvedic terms. It's not good to do if you have high blood pressure, any heart problems, vertigo, glaucoma, any problems with the ears, and also any stomach ulcers. So if that's you today, you might like to just do some nice deep yogic breathing while we have a go at Bhastrika. Bhastrika is also not good to do if you're menstruating. It is best done on an empty stomach as well. So let's have a go. We're going to come up to stand. If you're not familiar with Bhastrika, if you've never done it, you might just like to watch this morning. It's actually a pumping breath. So again, like those bellows, stoking the fire. So as we breathe forcefully in and out through the nose, the tummy is going to be pumping. So if you're new to this, I recommend you have the hands on the tummy, legs are just comfortably apart, and it just helps you to get the feel of the tummy going in, out, in, out, in, out. We'll start off, if you're new to this, perhaps just 10 breaths. Those of you who are familiar with this will do 20 breaths for the first round. We're going to do 3 rounds in all. Okay, so it does require a bit of energy to do the practice, but afterwards you can it has a very calming effect, and as I said earlier, energizing. So it'll help you feel more energized. Okay, hands might be on the belly. We exhale all breath to begin, and then either 10 breaths or up to 20. So not too many if you're new to this. When you finish that first round, take a deep breath in, stand up tall, see if you can pause, hold the breath for a few moments, drop the chin to the chest, squeeze the perineum, mula bandha. And when you need to exhale, just release the hands. I should have mentioned, give your nose a blow if you need to beforehand, before the practice. Okay. If you feel all right, let's try that again. So between 10 to 20 breaths. Exhale all breath, and then begin. When you finish, deep breath in, stand up tall, chin to chest, squeeze the perineum, tummy draws in a little bit. So you've got all the bandhas, all the internal locks in play. Hold, hold, hold. When you need to breathe, just release, lift the head, just rest for a moment. If you feel a bit dizzy or at all nauseous, don't continue. Perhaps just come to sit down on the floor. Otherwise, we'll do one more. So a little bend in the legs, hands maybe on the belly, shoulders back. Drop the chin, exhale all breath, and then begin. When you finish, deep breath, chin to chest, squeeze the perineum, tummy draws in a little and up. Hold, hold, hold. And when you need to breathe, just lift the head, relax the body. You might like to keep the eyes closed. Just take a breath or two there. Just check in with yourself. Okay. Let's move into Kati Chakrasana, a bit of a spinal twist. So feet about hip distance apart, little bend in the legs. And let's get those arms flowing around the body. Taking the arms up to chest height. And all the way up overhead, look up. Back to chest height. And back around the waist.
Just bringing the head back to center, letting the arms slow down. And we'll move straight into 3 stale air removers. So legs a little wider apart. Take a deep breath in and blow the breath out through the mouth as you fall forward. Legs bent or straight. Again, breathe in and let it all go as you exhale. Last one. Good. And slowly come up. Roll the shoulders back. Good. Okay. We're going to move on to another practice that's a bit similar to lion pose. It's the wood chopper pose. It's another one we don't do very often, but it's a really good pose again for letting go of frustration, anything that's sort of been weighing us down, that's been worrying us, troubling us. It's a really good anger release practice. So we're going to imagine that we're holding an axe. Again, if you're not familiar with this, it's another one that's a bit strange, but can be very powerful. And as you work with it, I went through this practice myself yesterday afternoon and just found this very, very powerful. And I really did feel as though it helped me release some stuff that I'd been holding on to. So legs comfortable distance apart. We've got our axe. We've got a huge piece of wood in front of us that we're going to try to chop. We're going to do 3 of these. So we're going to raise the arms up overhead. And then as we exhale, we swing the arms forward and we make a sound. So really let that, again, come from the belly, whatever you've been holding on to. So feel free to watch the first one if you'd like to. Breathe in, stretch the arms overhead. And breathe out. So 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. And last one. Good. And then just slowly come up. Pop your axe safely to the side. Sigh the breath away. Shake the body. Okay, come to the backs of your mats. Step forward with the left leg. We're going into a flowing warrior 1. So our hips are square, our arms are by our side, shoulders back. Exhale all breath. As we breathe in, we're bending the left leg, taking the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to shoulder height. Turn the palms up, breathe in. And breathe out, palms together. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. Palms can be together or shoulder width apart. And exhale. 2 more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn the palms up. Inhale. Exhale. Raise the arms up overhead. And release. Last one. Good. Now, keep the legs as they are. Just, I'd like to step that left foot in a little bit. We're going into humble warrior now. So humble warrior, we interlace the fingers behind us, or we hold the opposite elbow behind. And we take a deep breath in, we look up, we open the front of the body. And then as we exhale, we come forward, we bend the front leg,
And we're aiming to lie our torso on the inside of that left thigh. Coming down. Keep extending out through the crown of the head. So don't drop the head down. Keep lengthening the head. Perhaps lifting the arms up into the sky. Pushing back into the right foot. So try not to have all the weight come into that left leg. Humble warrior. Good. Now carefully lower the hands to the back and inhale, come up. If you need to step the feet together for a moment, shake it out. We're going to do one more pose with the legs, left leg forward, right leg back, hips square. This is a forward bend. For a gentler option, we'll keep our hands on our hips and we're coming forward, Parsvottanasana. The full pose is to bring the hands into prayer position. I know some of you can do this, so feel free to take this option. Again, we look up, and as we exhale, we come forward. Now, left leg this time stays straight unless you want to bend it just a little bit to protect the knee. Hands can stay on the hips, or we can take them down onto that left shin or fingertips to the floor. A gentler option for this is to, again, keep lengthening the spine and the crown of the head forward. Those of you who want to go a bit deeper, you're aiming to bring your head down towards the left shin. What's happened to the breath? Good. Now let's carefully come up. Bend that left leg if it helps you to come up. And release. Okay, left leg forward. Back to our warrior one. Arms by our sides, hips are square. Breathe in. Breathe out. Palms up, inhale. Hands into prayer. Take the arms up, palms together or shoulder width apart, and exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. And exhale. Last one. Good. Now keep the legs as they are. You can interlace your fingers or hold the opposite elbow behind you. Breathe in, open the front of the body, and as you breathe out, bend the right leg, coming forward into humble warrior. Lengthening your spine, the crown of the head forward, not dropping the head down. Keep pushing back into the left foot, trying not to have all the weight in that front leg and foot. Good. Lower the hands to the back. Carefully come up. And if you need to, just release the legs for a moment. Okay. Now our forward bend. Right leg forward, left leg back. Hands into prayer behind the back or hands on your hips. Hips square. Inhale. Lengthen the front of the body. And exhale, fold forward. Can have a little bend in that front leg, otherwise it's straight. Hands can stay on the hips or come down to your shin or fingertips to the floor. Breathing. Long spine. Good. Now that very carefully come up and release. Good work. There's some strong poses. Let's come to lie down on our backs. Feet stepped up close to the buttocks. Might like to sigh the breath away. Have your palms down alongside your hips. Check that your head, neck, and spine are in a straight line. Tuck the chin forward. Press the lower back down. Relax the mouth, relax the cheeks, the forehead. Going to work in a moment with bridge. We'll flow for perhaps 5 or 6 rounds, and then I'll give you the option of holding bridge and adding a variation. So let's exhale all breath. Just keep the palms down alongside the hips this morning. And on your next inhalation, slowly start to lift up. You might just lift halfway to begin. And as you exhale, gently roll down. Breathing in, you lift, perhaps a little bit higher. And breathing out, lower. Synchronize your movement with your breath. Your breath like a wave in the ocean, flowing in and flowing out. Now you can continue working with this motion, this movement, or the next time you lift up, you have the option of holding the pose, staying there, perhaps interlacing your fingers and wriggling from side to side. Tuck the shoulders in. Those of you who'd like a bit more of a challenge, walk your feet together, draw the right knee in towards the chest and extend the right leg up. Point your right toes. Breathe. Good. Lower the right foot down. Bring the left knee in and raise the left leg up. Point your left toes. Keep lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Lower the left foot down. Perhaps a couple more breaths here. When you've had enough, you release your hands, gently roll down. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourselves a hug and perhaps a little rock from side to side. Come back to center. Inhale, take the legs up, arms out to the side or up and overhead. Exhale, come back home, perhaps lifting your head to your knees if that's okay for your neck. Inhale, take them up. And exhale. One more. Moving now into a twist. So if you have a twist that you love to work with at this point, you can move into that now.
and stay for 3 or 4 breaths on each side. If you'd like to come along with me, have the feet hip width apart, arms at shoulder height, palms facing up, long spine, tuck the chin forward, press the lower back down, breathe in and lower your knees over to the right side. Head may turn to the left and you might place your right foot on the outer edge of the left knee. Relax your shoulders, soften the face. When you finish 3 or 4 breaths, release that right foot, come back to center, realign your spine, and take the knees over to the left side. Left foot on the outer edge of the right knee, turning your head to the right. Otherwise, keep the head in a neutral position. Soften the shoulders. No tension in the mouth. When it's time, release that left foot down, come back to center, bring the knees in, little hug. Good. Now we're going to move into Shavasana, but before we lie still, we're going to do a little bit of a stretch for the neck. So if you want to grab socks or cover yourselves up with a blanket, you can keep the feet stepped up close to the buttocks. Otherwise, stretch the legs out along the mat. And we're going to begin by taking the arms up overhead as we inhale. Point your toes, stretch the fingers away. And as you exhale, lower the arms down. 2 more of these. Breathe in. Stretch long and tall. And breathe out. And again. And lower the arms. Good. Now rest the left arm by your side, and on the next inhalation, raise just the right arm overhead. Relax your feet and legs. Keep the arm there and turn the head to the left as you exhale. On the next inhalation, return your head to center and lower the right arm down. Let's do that again on that same side. So breathe the right arm overhead. Let it rest there and turn your head to the left. Now keep the head to the left for a breath. So try to relax as much as you can. Take a breath. Returning your head to center as you inhale and lower the right arm down. Last one. Right arm lifts. Tuck the chin forward and turn your head to the left. Now this time we're going to keep the head here for 2 breaths. When it's time, return your head to center, tuck the chin forward, and lower the right arm. Let's try the other side. Breathe that left arm up overhead. Let it rest there and turn your head to the right. Return your head to center and lower the left arm. Again, inhale and turn your head to the right and just let it rest there for a breath. Return your head to center and lower the arm. Last one. Tuck the chin forward, turn your head to the right, and stay here for 2 breaths. Return your head to center and release the arm down. Good. Now, on your next inhale, tense the body as tightly as you can. Hold that tension tight and let all that tension go. Do that twice more. Breathe in, scrunch your toes, your fingers, face, buttocks, chest, and let that tension go as you exhale. And again. Good. And then let yourself surrender down now for relaxation. Making sure that you have everything you need to be really comfortable, that you are warm enough. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Connecting you to the vast wisdom of the earth. Feeling this strong, rich earth energy enter your body as you inhale and run down your spine as you exhale. Think about who you are and where you are in this moment. Remember that every part of you has been woven together by the fabric of your ancestors. Their blood, their experiences, their pains, their joys, all run through you and shape you. As you breathe in now, you might like to say to yourself, I enjoy my in-breath. And as you exhale, I enjoy my out-breath. I enjoy my in-breath. I enjoy my out-breath. Now, as you breathe in, say to yourself, I am aware of my heart beating.
And as you breathe out, I smile to this life flowing through me. I am aware of my heart beating. I smile to this life flowing through me. Now inhaling, my in-breath brings life to every cell of my body. My out-breath deepens my awareness of being alive. My in-breath brings life to every cell of my body. My out-breath deepens my awareness of being alive. Now breathing in, my heart beating is also the heart of my ancestors, with all their dreams, strength, courage, and resilience. Breathing out, I am determined to continue to nourish this heart and the courage and strength of my ancestors. My heart beating is also the heart of my ancestors, with their dreams, strength, courage, and resilience. I am determined to continue to nourish this heart and the courage and strength of my ancestors. Breathing in, I am aware of the very many hearts beating in our Sangha right now, bringing life, blood, and oxygen to all of us. Breathing out, I smile to this life flowing all around me. I am aware of the very many hearts beating in our Sangha right now, bringing life, blood, and oxygen to all of us. Breathing out, I smile to this life, flowing all around me. Finally, as you breathe in, I am aware of the heart of the earth under and all around me, beating in the trees, rocks, grass, water, birds. Exhaling, I take refuge in the heart of the earth, in her love, strength, and creativity, always bringing forth new life. I am aware of the heart of the earth. I take refuge in the earth. I am aware of the heart of the earth. I take refuge in the earth. Now, very, very gently, it is time to release this practice. To gently become aware of your surroundings once more. Noticing sounds, smells, the temperature of the air on your face, your skin. You're starting to deepen your breath as you bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Might like to have a bit of a stretch. And when you feel ready, we'll gently roll over to one side and come up to sit and chant 3 Oms together. So feel free to join in with me or just sit and listen. Bringing your hands together at the heart space. Soften the shoulders, relax the face. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Gently bow the head down. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for joining me this morning.